Welcome back to She's Gotta Have Both. The reason for this episode.
Do not play with me.
We're talking about burnout. It's
I'm
very
not burnt
fitting.
out, but I'm so sleepy today.
Social media increases comparison and feelings of inadequacy, particularly among women.
And it feels overwhelming because there's this underlying sense of, I need to be that.
The majority of women say that they feel pressure to be successful in multiple areas of life simultaneously, rather than excelling in just one. Burnout rates among women are higher than men in many workplace studies, with women reporting higher levels of emotional exhaustion.
Boy, was it a journey to get here today.
Are you kidding? Welcome back to She's Gotta Have Both, the podcast. And today's episode, we are going to be talking about
Burnout,
exhaustion, all the things that people, but specifically women, experience. And we believe that you can have both, just not the way Instagram tells you.
or not all at the same time.
Or not all at the same time. Exactly. It's not just about balancing life at the exact same time. It's like knowing when you turn this switch on and that switch off.
100%. And let me tell you, there's a few switches I need to turn off right now. Mostly the light coming through the window because I want to take a nap.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. This one over here, we might have to post behind the scenes of the building the pod or getting to the podcast today.
It was quite the journey.
It was a journey. It was definitely a journey, but it's something that I know I struggle with. And part of the reason that we named the podcast She's Gotta Have Both, because it's like you can't have it all at once, like you said, but you can have both. You can carry multiple things at one time, but figuring that out is the complex part and the journey that we want to continue on. So I actually want to start us off with a few statistics that I think may be relatable for ourselves or the women watching. Around 70% of women report feeling overwhelmed by the pressure to do well in career, family, relationships, health, finances, and personal goals.
That's 10 things right there.
Yes, absolutely. And women still perform a disproportionate amount of household and caregiving responsibilities, even when working full-time outside of the home. Who's got a hand raised for that?
So many.
Yeah, I'll keep going. Research consistently shows that social media increases comparison and feelings of inadequacy, particularly among women. And I 100% believe agree with that and believe that's true. I've even had people tell me that.
Yes.
And
I mean, I think so many people, when you see them like, I'm going offline, for various reasons, I think some people do it. I mean, probably I should have done that before.
I literally just said that I wanted to do that.
Take a break because I can get caught in the doom scrolling thing. But I think a lot of people have done it because they're tired of seeing what's happening in all these other people's lives, and it feels overwhelming because there's this underlying sense of, I need to be that. I should be doing those things, even if it's not direct comparison. I do think that some people do really suffer from the comparison thing, but I think it's also an expectation thing. It's putting expectations on people that are unrealistic.
No, I agree. And even if it's not comparing yourself to another person, there's guaranteed to be a product or something that you need to buy that's going to make you feel like I need to be doing that.
100%.
That happens to me all the time. 1 minute I'm like, oh my gosh, I need that organizational thing because I need to organize this. And then it's like, oh, I need this wellness thing because I do need to get that together. And I mean, it is completely overwhelming.
100%. What's funny is, I think I just said 100% 3 times. But anyway, I agree completely because I was just thinking as you were saying that, whenever I see new hacks for organization and cleaning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need that.
Yes.
Where is that? And so it's a constant like scrolling and shopping to try to fill gaps or needs, because let's be real, we all have needs in our life. And I think social media sometimes creates perceived needs.
Yes, for
and
sure.
ongoing. And then if every time you log on, you're seeing that, I don't know, Amazon thing, organizer caddy or something, then you constantly feel like, oh my gosh, I need more, or I'm not doing something as well as I could be.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's this comparison game of like, I am doing that, but maybe not as efficient or not as organized or not as fill in the blank.
Right. The idea is that you need or want to get something that is going to fill a need, make your life easier,
Right.
but it actually becomes more overwhelming because it feels like another thing I need to buy, whether it's the financial burden of, oh my gosh, I have too many things to buy. Which one do I get? Or just the feeling of constantly doing something to where it feels like you're not doing enough. So, I mean, that is marketing. I mean, that's the whole point of sales.
Exactly.
So I think that's something to take in, is that there's strategy and a ton of work that goes behind the emotional pull that sales is tugging at to get that result of us to buy. But it leads to us feeling overwhelmed or not good enough, or that, we're just, there's a deficiency in some area that we may not have even thought about on our own. So I have a couple more.
Okay.
Burnout rates among women are higher than men in many workplace studies, with women reporting higher levels of emotional exhaustion.
And we already have like double the emotions men have.
Bingo. And that's why I think that that's the case, because I don't want to speak for men. Obviously, men have emotions.
Right.
But I do think that because we're wired differently.
Correct.
Men can take a lot of the physical exhaustion that work brings. I mean, in today's day and age,
mental.
There's a lot of mental, but there are a lot of jobs I think that men hold that, kind of require more physical things, or even if they're sitting up in an office, making those decisions, it's like they're not doing the physical thing. So it's like one thing to focus on. Whereas women, I feel like we're carrying all the things.
Men are just better at compartmentalizing. Yes. And I think that word, even I have said like, oh, compartmentalization, that's not a good thing. I think in some ways it is. I used to feel like it was bad because it's like, no, you need to be fully integrated in your life. And I don't know, maybe there are some professionals out there that would say I'm crazy for saying this, but there's something about, and Craig and I have talked about this, the way that like he can just put things on a shelf. Like this man can literally take a nap in the middle of the day. And we laugh about it, but literally like he can. And he can take a nap because he can literally set aside like whatever is going on, how he's feeling, how he's thinking. And that gives him like some rejuvenation. He could take like a 20-minute nap or whatever, wake up, feel great. I'm like, how could I sleep? I have so much to do. Like that, I cannot take any naps or sleep until the evening time. But I do have an appreciation for compartmentalization. I think there's something healthy about it.
I do think it's healthy. I think it can be used in unhealthy ways. Especially if you're putting something on a shelf and then never taking it back off the shelf.
Well, yeah, like blowing the dust off.
Right, exactly. Women, speaking from myself and other women that I know, I just do think that doesn't happen in our brains very often. And if I'm being honest, the reason I believe that women can have both and have multiple things is by doing that more. And not allowing everything to be happening in our minds, and we feel the heaviness or the weight of the responsibilities all at one time.
Yeah.
People that are good at balancing and doing multiple things, it's like, okay, this is not the priority at the moment, so I can't worry about it at the moment. Set it on the shelf.
Yeah.
That's literally what I'm trying to do more of.
Same.
That's what I'm trying to do more of.
Yeah, I think too, this is maybe a little off the topic, but I started to think about, have I know in the past, obviously, I was a workaholic and I was trying to do all the things. I literally was a juggler. And where do jugglers work? At the circus. So that means your life is a circus if you're a juggler. So that was me at one point in my life when I was doing all the things. But my thought that I just had was, I know I've gotten so much better at putting things on the shelf. And I think you're able to do that more depending on what your priorities were. Because at the time that I was such a workaholic, my priority was success and achievement,
Mm.
period.
Mm.
My priority now, peace at all costs. So when your priorities are different, I think that will enable you to take the things and put them on the shelf. Because when I think about I need peace, I'm like, oh, I have no problem putting that on the shelf.
Yeah,
I have no problem stopping to do that or taking a pause or switching directions. Like, that's no problem because my priority is peace in my life and to do things with more ease. So,
no, that's good. That's very good. And I was even thinking before you said that just in general, the way that I see handling multiple things is with peace.
Mm-hmm.
And you really can only get that if you're seeking Jesus all the time, because that's the way that I'm like, all right, I need peace about this. Mm-hmm. Carry me through the day. I'm gonna do what I need to do. But like, as far as like peace of mind, that is really what allows you to handle. And really, I mean, it's the same thing when I say, like, relying on God for peace. It's like, cast your burdens. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this I can't handle today.
That's correct. And that's another thing, not just putting things on a shelf.
Giving it over.
Giving it over to God. Surrendering the thing.
Yes.
And because the thing is when we have these, let's just take this little vase. This is whatever thing we're focused on.
Yeah.
And so when it's in our hands like this, like, we think we have full control over this.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, if the shelf is God, everything needs to be on the shelf.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Matter of fact, we need to sit on the shelf.
Sit Mama down.
What do I do with all of this?
Yes,
no,
that's true.
But silly analogy. But yeah, I definitely believe, like, we have to give it over to God and surrender those things.
Yep. It's really about the surrender, because if you can't do that, and it is very hard to do.
Yeah.
What's funny is, speaking of men and women, I do think men are actually kind of better at that. Not
surrendering?
Yes. Just in general. Not saying that, like, they're always, surrendering it to God or whatever, like a healthy man in a healthy spiritual, relationship is. But I think men in general, it's just like, once it gets to a certain point, they're like, forget it. Like,
yep, that's it. We're done.
I'm done. Hands off. You know what I mean? I mean, how many women have criticized men in their lives for being hands off? But I do think that their, level of, like, what I can handle, what I can't handle is different. Yeah. Where they can just be hands off, and we can learn something from that. At least I can say I can learn something from that, because we do hold on to things so tightly because we feel the responsibilities. And I have another statistic that says the majority of women say that they feel pressure to be successful in multiple areas of life simultaneously rather than excelling in just one. That speaks to me, because it's like, maybe the problem isn't about failing. It's about, why are we sold that we have to be great at everything? Whereas a lot of times in a traditional, household, it's like, typically, of course, the man is involved in the family life and all of that, but it's like, he needs to do his job and succel. You just came up with a new word. Succel.
You need to succel. Okay.
You need to be successful, excellent, and excelling at what you're doing.
That's actually, it sounds like a great word.
It's a good word, succel. But they need to excel at what they're doing, and that is, like, kind of enough. Like, if a man is excelling in his whatever it is, but most likely his career or his business or whatever else, it's like, and you're a good man, it's kind of like a bonus that, like, oh, and you're also an active father, and you're doing all these things in the home and everything. But I don't know, I don't feel like it's at the same level that women are like, I got to be great at this, and this, when it comes to their physical appearance, their household, the kids, the career as well, the everything,
the homemaker, the wife,
the animals,
the friend that's supportive and coming to all your events and buying you gifts.
Yes, the friend, the auntie, the niece, the all those things. There's a lot of roles that women automatically are like, I have to be 100% all the time in all of those categories.
Impossible. Unless your name is Kim Possible. No, just kidding. Impossible. For the world is full of crazies and fools.
Isn't it like Zanies?
Zanies.
Yeah. Sure, crazy.
Who don't believe in sensible rules. Yeah, it's impossible.
Yes.
I definitely agree with that. I think that it's funny because when I had a life coach, I hired a life coach, and I was just like, I need to just figure out some things. And I'll never forget one of the things she said to me. She said, I was explaining something about, being a wife and this and that, and like wanting to be the best that I can. And then she said to me, who asked you to do that? Did Craig ask you to do that? And I was like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this realization. She's like, is God asking that of you? And I was like, no. And in that moment, I realized, oh my gosh, like these are perceived expectations that I'm putting on myself, or that I am having put on me by other people or outside influences. I don't consider myself a person that's easily influenced by things, besides things that I need to buy on Amazon. But other than that, not like influenced by the culture, But I think we all are, though. Because somebody somewhere was telling me that I needed to do X, Y, Z, like making from scratch meals at my house to be a good wife. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be making a bunch of stuff from scratch. This is not in my zone of things that I enjoy doing or that I feel super amazing at, right? And it doesn't mean you can't attempt things that you aren't good at or whatever, but just expectations that are unnecessary.
Yep.
Who said you have to have a scratch meal for every meal every day to be a good wife?
Yep.
Who said that?
Yep. And again, the theme of this is just that you can have both, not the way that Instagram told you to have it, because these are a couple notes I wrote down. Instagram tells you success should happen quickly. That's not necessarily something that we just got on our own.
That's actually a lie.
Yeah.
There's zero success that happens
but
fast.
that's what you're being sold. That's what you're being sold. Is like, here's how to get to, this level as fast overnight. Basically, everything is quick, instant. And marriage should be easy. That's definitely what we see on Instagram. Oh yeah. It's like
just plan a picnic at the park. Yeah. And you're gonna have
your husband should be perfect. He should say yes to everything that you want,
which is like actually not healthy.
No, he should take perfect pictures of you. That would be ideal.
Anytime you want. That sounds like a slave.
Anytime you want, and it's your vacation. He's the photographer. Motherhood should be beautiful. Your house should be spotless. That's
you're always
definitely
crafting
what we're
with
sold.
your kids.
100%. Your body needs to bounce back. Your body should always be in shape. I feel like that is definitely a huge thing. It's like, oh, you're literally. Why can't I talk today? You're literally living life wrong if your body's not perfect. Like you're unhealthy, which is literally not the case because there's so many women in transitional periods, hormonal things, and all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely. But then also it's like, it's so crazy because there's all these perceptions on Instagram or social media or just within the world. But then there's the other side of it too that people just forget about. Some of these people are like getting stuff done to their bodies and then dying from their surgeries.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and then it's just like, oh my gosh, did that have to happen?
I know.
Like, did that? And I know things go wrong all the time.
Yes.
You can't prevent. So it doesn't say anything necessarily about doctors or having surgeries or anything like that. But just that, the thing that motivated all of that,
correct,
right, was this desire, like, I need to look a certain way. And it's like, at what cost?
All right, agreed.
Some people, it's at the cost of their life.
100%
that
agreed.
Scares me.
I actually, one of the doctors from the show Botched, if any of you have ever watched it, that show.
That show is crazy.
That show is crazy. I used to watch it all the time, and then I don't know what happened, but I forgot about it, and then I was like, why haven't I watched Botched in forever? But I actually saw him speaking about the BBL, which is obviously so common. I think we're weaning away from that now, which is crazy because it was literally a trend just because of the times, and people did permanent changes to their bodies based on trends, but obviously to each their own. But he said that he does not do that procedure because it is the most dangerous procedure. that something
there's
about
been a lot of stories.
yeah, something about the blood vessels there are like there are vessels that go straight to your brain. So he's like, when you're injecting, you really can't, you're going in blind. Like, obviously, you're in a large area, but you really don't know exactly where you're at. You're just injecting fat. And if it goes into a blood vessel, it literally just goes straight to your brain. That's why there's so many casualties in that situation. I was like, that is horrible. That's honestly, luckily, the comments were actually good. People were like, okay, yeah, I just canceled my appointment, you know?
Oh, that was good.
And yeah, again, I don't know that I fall into the category of do whatever makes you happy.
No.
Just because there are risks to everything. I do believe that there are circumstances and, you know, like
do whatever makes you do whatever makes you happy is crazy.
I know.
What if you're a criminal? Do whatever you want. Every criminal to do whatever makes them happy. So that's the thing. In this world, people say these one-liners, and then you hear people and they're like, "Yeah, you do what makes you feel good. Do whatever you need to do to be happy." Would you tell all different types of criminals that? Think about the different types,
because they're people too.
Exactly.
It's like
you can't make blanket statements like that. It's not do whatever makes you happy. Let's do things that are wise. Let's do things that are of sound mind.
Right.
Let's do things that are reasonable and that are godly.
I believe in doing things like as a woman that make you feel good about yourself and, you know, whether it is your body or whatever else. And it doesn't always have to be just traditionally like, oh, you can't do anything but work out and, you know, eat right. I think you technically can do whatever you want. But like you said, what's reasonable, like at what cost, and the motivation behind it.
That's the key.
Because everything isn't spiritual, but it's like what you said that your coach said. Like, is God asking you to do that? It's like, no.
Like, who's putting the expectation?
Right.
And if it's just a desire, like, oh, I think that's a little different. Sometimes, but again, where's your desire coming from? What's the motive of your heart? Are you doing this because you feel like this is a perceived expectation from someone or from society, or what you think is, you know, the way a woman should look, or whatever it is? Yeah.
And if we're real with ourselves, naturally as humans, we are influenced by everything around us. So even if you think that you're not influenced, you are. Even the strongest minded people. I mean, I've been influenced by things. It's funny, we were having a off-camera discussion about kind of like the death of the girl boss, basically. And, you know, there was this idea, and I definitely was in that era, many of you know. And it was like you wanted to do do all the things, right? Be the boss of your own life, whether it was in just your home life or having a business or whatever the case may be. And there's nothing wrong with being somebody like that, but I do think it encouraged a lot of people to be that. And it was like, if you aren't that, then you're not doing it the right way. You're not doing womanhood the right way. You're not, you're not excelling if you don't have a business and you're not making 6 figures to $1 million a year. And that's just not the case for everyone. And I think that that's what happens with certain narratives is that it's like all or nothing, when the reality is that can totally be okay for one person. And for me, I'm in a completely different space than that. If I can just have everything, and this is still unrealistic, organized in my house, I'm good. I don't even need a bunch of stuff going on outside of my life, to be honest. Listen. I have the things I need and some things that make me comfortable. I really don't need a whole empire. Would it be nice to have one? Absolutely.
Of course.
But I don't need one, and it doesn't mean that there isn't success. It doesn't mean that there's not value in the person if it's not visible and on display for everyone else. That makes sense.
I agree. The age of the girl boss is wild. It's funny because when that came out, I was like, yeah. I was like, definitely in my like entrepreneur.
Yes.
We need to do this season. So it's just kind of funny to me thinking about those times, which there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
It's great. It's just that when we let seasons or themes or trends become a standard for our life, and a standard for the expectations that we set for ourselves, that becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So really the bottom line question is, where do you get your standards from to prevent you from this idea that we're talking about of getting burned out and feeling like you got to do all the things and do everything super well? And what does super well look like?
Mm-hmm.
Like, whose house is clean? Unless you have a cleaning lady,
mm-hmm.
or company, which is great. Even then, though, when they get there, they're coming to clean. So that means stuff is not completely in order. So it's like, is that actually reality? What is the goal, and where are your standards coming from? Are they, and what is your priority? I keep going back to that, because you can have a standard, but before the standard, I believe, comes the core values and the priorities. Are your core values peace, contentment? What you're talking about, I feel like, is a place of contentment where I love the empire. That's great. I love an empire too. Put me there. I was born to be a queen. I'm just kidding. But at the same time, like, I'm content where I am. I have the things that I need. There's things that I still need to do, because contentment is a core value for me.
Yeah, and the thing is that seasons change in life. Yep. So what was good and beneficial in one season,
right,
may not be the same in another. So for me, like, the girl boss era was actually beneficial, and I loved it. And it was at a time in my life, at an age where I had the energy for that.
Same.
Which I don't anymore. That may change again. But yeah, it is just more about sometimes things will need more attention and something else less attention. It doesn't mean that other thing is gone.
Right. Or bad.
Right. Or bad or anything like that. It's just like, okay, maybe that, like, you poured into something at one time and it grew and maybe it's thriving now, and now that doesn't need the same level of attention, so you still have that, and this over here actually now needs some more attention, and you're putting all of your efforts, or a lot of your efforts, into that. It's like, this is still here over there. So to me, that's really what holding both of those things are.
It's kind of like the empty nester season of life, right? Neither one of us are empty nesters, but I know a lot of people that are going through this phase, and so they at one time were pouring all this energy and time into their kids, and then as the kids get older and are leaving the house, you're pouring into your kids, but in a different way, and it doesn't require as much time anymore, and maybe it doesn't require the same type of effort when you're trying to raise your children according to a standard. There's a lot of mental and physical effort and emotional and spiritual that goes into that. As they get older, you are trusting that they're taking all that they have gained from, learning from you and being raised by you to do their own thing. And so there's a lot different energy that comes with that, and amount of time or commitment, I feel like. So I think that one's a good example of, it's just a different season. Different seasons, even though I feel like that word gets played out. Season. But different seasons do require different things, or different amounts of the things.
Yes. So more grace for women and people in general. Shout out to our male viewers.
Hey, y'all.
Even though we're talking to the women, we're talking to y'all too. But, I do think that the feeling of burnout is so high. Because of the amount and the weight and the pressure that we put on ourselves for everything to be kind of at the same level, or to be getting
at
equal,
the same time.
Yeah, at the same time, and to be getting equal attention. So it's not that women are burnt out because they're weak and they can't handle it. It's because you're trying to live 6 different lives at one time.
Yeah, it's impossible. I've done it though. Did it, done it, survived it. Chose a different path.
Yes. And I know that there's a lot of women that I've done it. I've done the million different things at once. It's just not sustainable.
It is not. That's the key.
It's not sustainable.
And I think the lesson from that too is just, what can you do consistently over time, to have some just stability so that you don't get burned out. That's the thing. Because I actually went to a conference one time, and there was a lady, she was called like the burnout professor or something. I can't remember. And she talked about all these statistics with burnout. And then she talked about like, what kind of consistent habits or routines can you have, which is not a novel, newer concept, but what kind of consistent habits and routines can you have to keep like basically peace and rest in your life when you are in a very busy season, or you are working at a high capacity job, or your family demands are really high? What can you do consistently? So she was talking about like obviously breathing, box breathing. People have heard of that.
But I don't even know that I've heard of that. But
no. Oh, I think it's like, I forget, but it's like 3 to 4 seconds. Breathe in and hold it for like 3 to 4 seconds, and then you breathe out.
I didn't know that was called
for 3 to 4
breathing.
seconds. Yeah, it's like box breathing or something. Yeah, so I think the key to sustain ourselves and avoid the burnout is like, what kind of replenishing things can you do consistently?
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. And then evaluating what are the categories of life that need your attention the most right now.
That's good. And some people don't have the luxury of choosing to only focus on a couple of things.
That's true.
That you just have 6, 7, 10 things on your plate, you know, and it's just like okay, how do I, yeah, exactly. It's like, how do I not burn out? And so I agree that having techniques or things that you regularly do to replenish is the way to maintain, and the compartmentalizing. Like, there's nothing I can do about this right now. I need to put that one on the shelf.
Yep.
And give my best effort to the thing that's the most pressing. And then, I mean, it's a juggling act, but it at least doesn't you don't live with all things sitting on your brain with the same weight all at the same time.
It's so true. And I think too, having some stabilizers or some constants is really important. This is like a silly example, but I had a friend call me this week, or she was texting me, and we were getting together for lunch. And she was asking, like, where do you want to go? Blah, blah. And I was just like, you pick. I said, I've made 578 million decisions today. I'm not making another decision.
No, 100%.
So she started cracking up. And I'm thinking, girl, listen, you haven't made as many decisions as me today based on how I know your day was. So please choose. So I think the amount of things, and I heard someone talk about that before, but like reducing the amount, when you think about somebody like a single mom that doesn't have that luxury, or just someone that's like in a high capacity role at work or whatever, and it's like, you have to do these things. It's like, what are the things in your life that could be constants that are just already done, that you don't have to think about, or you can make simpler for yourself?
Yes.
So even this week, or the past couple of weeks, I've been tracking my diet. Not like dieting, but like just looking at what I'm eating, because how can you change what you eat, what you're eating? I realized, and how can I, improve in my health if I don't even know where I'm at? Like sometimes I can't even remember what I ate in a day. So I've been tracking my eating, and I met with my nutritionist, and she's like, oh, you're doing so great. And I was like, actually, it's been pretty easy, which in the past that would be very hard. And she's like, well, what made it easy? And I said, well, funny thing, one of the things is it like feels rewarding to be tracking this, but my husband loves to buy protein. So our freezer is stocked with meat. Okay. I don't even like meat that much, but it is like, I mean, you name it, we got it in the freezer. And I was complaining about that. And I have complained about that. Like, why is he always buying this meat? And I told her about that, and she's laughing. And I said, but you know what I realized? I said, it was a lot easier because I've been focusing on fiber and water intake. It was so much easier to plan meals and to think about what I was going to eat because I didn't have to think about the protein. And I didn't have to go buy protein. It was just there. Meat is one of those things. You can actually buy it in bulk, freeze it, and it lasts a while. And then all you need to do at the grocery store is get your fresh produce, seasonings and stuff. You're going to have that ready to go. You just need the fresh stuff. So it actually made it so easy. That's a constant. Meat is a constant in our house. So then the variables, I don't have to worry about making decisions on the meats. The variables are the fresh produce, and that's easy. It's like, let me just pick 3 greens that I'm going to put in my fridge this week.
Sides.
So that's just a very simple but practical example. If you can have those constants where you don't have to think about those things or make a lot of decisions, it alleviates a lot of the strain here that can cause the overwhelm that then leads to the burnout.
100%. And as we age, no matter what age you are, your brain just can't hold all the things because we've been using it for so long, and there's so many things we need to use our brain for. Using it just for trying to remember things or making decisions is like the worst thing. And the older you get, I feel like the harder it is. And when you were saying that, it was reminding me of something that I actually want to incorporate. I've done it in like work sometimes, but I've never done it like super consistently. But I've heard this before, having a uniform. Okay. Mm-hmm. It made me think of a couple of people that I know do this, but like one person that I know anyone would recognize, Simon Cowell. Okay. I don't know what that man got going on. He's got a lot of things going on. He's been on a million shows, produced a million shows. He's probably got all kinds of businesses. Have you ever seen him in anything but a black t-shirt? Nope. He has a uniform, and I wasn't even specifically saying every day, but like probably one of the, in the category of successful people, all kinds of money, probably could buy whatever he wants. That man is in a black t-shirt every time you see him. He sure is. Every time you see it, because I guarantee you it is because he makes so many decisions. Mm-hmm. Thinking about what he is going to wear is not one of those things. And he could probably have a stylist. All those people on shows and stuff, they have stylists. He's got the money. He's got the money. It doesn't even matter enough to him. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that anyone should be that extreme, but like for real, if you are dealing with burnout like that, give your kids a uniform. You have a uniform. Like, make it easy on these yourself. Days, even if it's not the same thing every day. On these days, everybody's wearing pink. On this day, everybody's wearing whites. Your laundry will be easier because you'll know, okay, at least by this day, I gotta have all the whites done or whatever. Everybody's wearing black on Friday or whatever the case may be. I actually think it's fun. I think to have those kinds of things. And when we grew up, we went to private school. We wore a uniform. We sure did. I think that's, I know there's a lot of reasons for that, like kids and, everybody being the same and all that. But there's something about that structure that it's just another routine for the child. It's like you wake up, you brush your teeth, you got to eat, you got to get to school, put your uniform on. The parent's not like, what do you want to wear today, honey? It's like, how many times do we hear that? Put your uniform on, get your shoes. Let's go. And we have the same school shoes. It wasn't like, what shoes am I going to wear today? It's like, these are your school shoes. I believe in that so much. That's part of the reason why I adopted a minimalist color palette. I absolutely love it. People are bringing back the color. I'm all for it. I'm probably not going to do it. I'm just going to tell you. I am sold because number one, it's calming for me. And number two, it really keeps a lot of things off the table for me because I love to shop. But when I go into a store, if I see something, even though I can appreciate it in its color, doesn't go. Never going to go in my house. There's no reason for me to buy it. I'm not even thinking about it. This is my lane. I'm only in this category. So I love it. I think it makes total sense. And honestly, let's be real. I'm no scientist, so I don't know why I'm making a science analogy. But in science, I just kept thinking about like you have the controlled substances and then you have like the variables and that's how you experiment and you find out things that work. So true. I don't know. I can't think of a science experiment, but I just remember those words like your controllables or like the things that are stable and then your variables, right? So it just makes sense, I think, for life. Like I think if you want to take action after this podcast, because I love to give people a challenge, make a list in your life of things that you could actually control. If we want to talk about control, self-control is the only thing that we have, the only control we have. Control some things that relate to yourself in your life that could be constants. And then on the other side, you got all the variables, and there are variables we can't even write down because they just pop up. We don't even know what they are. So I think to do that makes logical sense, common sense, and even scientific sense because that is how we find out about things and how they work and get results. Right. And if you have the majority of the things in your life, which we already try to control everything, right? But we don't necessarily do it in an organized way. Correct. Speaking for myself, but same. We don't always do it in an organized way. So if you put together an organized list of things that you can control, number one, that's feeding the control. It's like, yes, it checks off that thing in your brain. It scratches that itch for the people that are, wanting to be in control. So that brings a sense of peace. Yes. And if the majority of it is controlled, then the variables, it just doesn't feel as out of control because there's only a few of them. Or you can introduce something new, introduce something else new, and you can do it more gradually rather than just feeling like this. I just imagine like Niagara Falls, of just uncontrolled variables on a day-to-day that life can give.
Yep.
But if you have your standards and your set things, then those other things are just kind of like white noise. You know what I mean?
100%. And it eliminates that verbiage, decision fatigue.
Yes.
That's a big thing for me.
It is. Me too.
I literally, and it's the small, I can make the big decisions. It's the small decisions that I'm like, what am I going to eat? Eating is probably one of the biggest things in my life. It is a big, huge, frustrating ball. One, because I like to eat, so I like to eat good.
Yeah.
So I can be really picky. And then two, it's like you need to eat.
You have to eat a lot.
It's so important for your energy. And like as a woman, your hormonal balance. I've been learning so much more about that lately. And so the amount of things that I can just like reduce as it relates to food is so ideal for me. Like I will have the same breakfast for like a month. Like it's no problem. And I remember when I wasn't even eating breakfast at all, I would just skip meals most of the day because I was so busy and burnt out. And it's like, I don't have time for that. It's like, no, you just need to set time to make something that is sustainable for you. So my favorite go-to is like, give me some Greek yogurt, some berries, and some granola, and let's call it a day. And I'll eat it every single day. And some parts of your life, which is hard for a person that likes adventure and variety and excitement, I think we can both relate to that. Some parts of your life need to be boring. They need to be so boring. And guess what? It's going to give you a way better life because you're not stuck in decisions that don't really matter that much and that are wasting your mental, physical, and emotional energy on stuff that's, I mean, it's important, but it's not like, I don't know, vital. Vital's not the word. It's important, like you need to eat, but it is not like game changing for you to eat something so fantabulous every day. It's like just be bored in some parts of your life. I
just had a quotable thought.
I like it.
Sometimes variety is anxiety.
Oh,
I mean, for real though,
I'm dead.
That's
true.
You know, as someone that does like variety and like switching things up, that is the cause of a lot of the anxieties that we feel because there's so many uncontrollables.
Yes.
So it's like, oh my gosh, how do we love variety, but we also want to be control freaks? This is the problem.
We make our own lives chaotic.
Correct.
It's not even life. Like you can't even blame it on life. It's like, no, that's just you.
Yeah, exactly. It's there's lots of choices in life, but everyone can't do everything. Everyone can't. I mean, this happens to me all the time. I don't have a particular one style. I love a variety when it comes to style. Putting me in a box, I'm like 1 minute, I'm like, oh yes, love a sporty vibe. But I also love to be bohemian. I love classic looks, obviously minimalistic things. I love shit. It's super, super hard. Sometimes I wish I was in a box where I'm just like, I don't care. Yeah, like I only wear black. I would love that if that was me. But it's just not how my brain works. In that area, I have not surrendered the control because I do love the variety. But that would be a good challenge.
I think we're going to need to do this for our own selves.
Yes.
You're saying, though, to pick a style.
Like pick a style or pick like, something to stick to. I have been trying this out a little bit. I have a designated clothing rack that I put together, like things that I've recently purchased or things that are just like simple and it's like the basics thing. Could I live off of this tiny little wardrobe, like kind of like a capsule wardrobe of just the basics and everything? And I haven't reduced my wardrobe to that, but I have been operating majority of like day to day off of that. And it is so mentally
freeing,
relieving and freeing. It's like, okay, I have, all my basics. I got my jeans, I got my black pair of pants, I got my tan pants, I have like my basic shirts and everything. And it is so nice to just walk into something very simple, not a bunch of distractions, and say, these are my only options. Could I do that permanently? I don't know. I'm trying to get there. But listen, I highly recommend it if you want to test it out.
It's funny because I was just thinking about makeup for me and how simple that's gotten. Because I was in the beauty industry and, it was the era of like the beauty influencers. So it was like, I need this palette and that palette and this palette and that. And I remember somebody said one time, like, oh, I keep hitting pan or whatever. Like when you hit the pan, when you've used, let's say, your blush or bronzer so much, you like middle. See the metal. I had never seen that before. because I had so much stuff.
You never.
I was getting the Ipsy bags and the whatever's bags and
Yes.
and going to Sephora and Ulta and trying all these new things. And I was going crazy with the makeup. I mean, I was buying it professionally as well for clients, but I was buying a lot of stuff for myself. And when I think about it now, I mean, in my makeup bag, it's about 5 things. First of all, I'm not doing eyeshadow. So it's mascara. And I'm thinking about, should I get the eyeliner tattoo? No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. I'm way too scared for that. Mascara, blush. I'm currently using my concealer or corrector for my foundation. So it's a twofer.
You've been doing that for a while.
It's a twofer. Oh, yeah. I haven't bought foundation. I can't even remember. That. Well, I got 2 of them. A lighter one and then a darker one. And then, what did I say? Mascara, blush, the concealers, and eyebrow stuff. That's
lip gloss.
And lip gloss and a liner. Okay, 7 things.
No,
that's doing good.
That is very good. I have been on this train, and I did makeup. I actually used to do photography and makeup when I was at Glamour Shots back in the day. And when you were saying this, it actually reminded me of something when I worked there.
What?
My manager, because we all had to do both. So luckily I knew how to do makeup too. But when I would have to do makeup on clients, like I would, try to do all their requests or whatever. If you had seen her do makeup, she's like, I use 1 eyeshadow. Like I use maybe 2. She's like, I use the same eyeshadow on every single.
You gotta make it.
She's like, it looks good on everyone. She's like, I don't even listen to what they say they want. If they say they want to smoke, no, I do the same.
No, that's crazy.
And I'm just, and she could do it in like 15 minutes. It was very efficient. People did always say they loved it. She's like, I'm not doing the shimmer, none of that. That doesn't look good on old people because they have the wrinkles. So it was like a very matte, like kind of mauvey color. Yeah. And it was hysterical because people would say that they loved it. I'm like, she's not that good at doing it.
You're like, she literally just said that on you.
No, yeah, seriously. But that kind of stuck with me, even though I wasn't like that at that phase. I mean, I was doing all kinds of stuff at that phase. I had every color. I was doing peacock, like on my eyes, like daily. But now, and for years, when I say I don't keep hardly any makeup, first of all, I do my makeup in the car almost every day.
Same. And it literally takes me 5 minutes.
Literally. I do my makeup in 5 minutes every day. Same routine. I just have a little bit of fill-in for my eyebrows because I do have them microbladed and I need to get that done again so that I don't have to fill them in because that's like the best thing. And shout out to anybody, or I mean, not shout out, but if anybody wants to like help me with my redo, let me know.
Same here. Mine is currently bluish gray.
I will be your model. And yeah, I do. I've been wearing the same lip gloss and same lip liner for like 2 years. Yeah. No joke. I've been wearing the same blush every single day.
Yeah.
I do have foundation. I have a little concealer. Yeah. Mascara. I try to just do my own lashes so I don't even have to wear mascara because I hate doing mascara. Actually, I don't mind doing mascara. I hate taking it off at night.
Me too.
So that's the reason that I don't like to do mascara.
True.
I
rub it like for 10 hours.
I can't stand taking mascara off. I actually had the thought today, I'm not joking, when I was doing my makeup. I was like, I'm really loving I did my makeup, but I'm not putting anything on my lashes. I don't mind it. I was like, this is probably just because I don't want to put mascara on. I actually don't mind it. Like half the day I walked around, I had a little bit of eyeshadow, which I never do, just for filming. A little bit of eyeshadow, no mascara. I was like, I think it looks fine.
Now, if I need anything, I need mascara.
No, I need lashes, but for some reason, I don't know. I feel like if I got my brows on, I'm good. So simplicity in my makeup has literally saved me so much time and money because honestly, I go in the makeup stores. I don't even look. I just go in. What am I out of? I'm out of this. I need my new lip. I need my lip gloss and I need my foundation. I'm in and I'm out. I literally don't even look around because I don't want to get tempted. And I don't need it. I've been surviving off of it just fine for I don't know how long.
And think about it, when you go in there, and occasionally I will start looking around at random things.
I try not
I'm in there for an hour.
Exactly.
Because there's so much stuff. There's always new products, blah, blah, blah. It's like there's so much to sift through, which that used to be fun for me. But, and again, if it gives you joy, great. Love, I still love makeup and beauty. Like, I will always love the industry. The industry was my career for such a long time. But so if it's something you love, great. But when you are more concerned about like the value of your time,
Absolutely.
which is a priority for me, it's like, oh no. Just let me get my stuff, my usual, and I'm out of here.
Yep.
The only thing I will look at is the like carousels as you or whatever
Oh,
you're checking out. They always get you. There's so much good stuff.
They do.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, they do get me with the fragrances. I do definitely do that. But I started this series. I need to finish it. But this year, I was like, I just want my one thing in every category. My best of everything series, my Lux list, as I was calling it. Where I'm just like, what is, I have that in a lot of, I know what my go-to lip combo is. That's literally all I need. I know what, the foundation that I'm just like, yep, this is it for me. And same thing with everything else. I've done that with fragrance now. Like I've got a couple, like maybe 3, but it's just like, this works for daytime, this works for nighttime, and then this one's for the winter. That's it. And I love it. It makes me feel very in control, and it makes me feel fulfilled because it feels like I know what I'm doing every day. It's just like, these are my options. I know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to do that in every category of my life.
I need to do that because I think what we're talking about and just the whole idea of this is like, these are things that like they matter, but they're not like heart matters, like taking care of your family, taking care of your husband, taking care of the people that you love. This enables you to do more of that. That's how I feel, right? Like it's like your makeup, okay, whatever. Like, I mean, that's important to me because I want to look nice and presentable and all the things. But is it like the most important thing?
Right.
No.
Right.
So if we can make things that are important the most simple, then we can really invest our time in the things that are matters of the heart that really are like valuable to our lives, which is the people.
Absolutely.
Right? And our relationship with God and like just saving us time. So this is actually kind of inspiring me. I'm not gonna lie, to do my list because I kind of have my go-tos. And here's the other thing. You could have your go-tos, and then it gives you the freedom to switch it up.
Yes, like, I was going to say that.
You know what I mean? Like, this is what I know I love. For example, I'm going back to food because this has been a big thing for me. But I'm like, I got to get more vegetables. I got it. And I just naturally don't crave them a lot. Broccoli is like one of my favorites to make, or like broccolini. That's a standard for me. But then I'm like, I need to switch it up because apparently I just found this out. The microbiome in your gut loves variety. It actually helps build it up and keep things level and right, which is something I've been focused on. And we know the gut affects literally every part of your body. So I'm like, all right, now I know I have my broccoli or my broccolini or whatever, usually broccoli. I feel like I roast it. And then I'll switch it up. That's my standard. That's my number one go-to for a vegetable. But then I go to Costco and I just go around the thing and I was like, all right, asparagus, Brussels sprouts. I'm doing 2 additional ones this week. So it's like, have your standard, then do 2 rotating ones. It's so simple.
And it makes it mentally better because you don't feel like you're starting at 0 every time. Like if you're going to a restaurant and every time you go to a restaurant, you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to have. Like you're looking at the full menu. But if you know, like, this is what I normally get and this is my standard, you have a baseline, which is also, I feel like, I'm not in the science either, but it's like when you have variables and stuff, like you have to have your baseline, which is basically your control line.
Right.
And then you're looking at different options, but you can always go back to what your standard is. It doesn't put as much pressure on what the decision is because you have a standard or a baseline. Yep. So I agree. I'm definitely not saying, even though I enjoy having my one thing, I like to switch it up for sure. But I don't feel pressed to. Yep. I don't feel like I have to. It's like, oh, if I happen to find something that I'm interested in, great. But I'm going to compare it to my baseline, my standard. Yeah. And if it's not as good or better, then it's like, okay, I tried something else, but no, thank you. Yeah. I'm not forever searching now for like, what's good, what's best, what's better. It's just like, this is what I know is good. And, I can float when I want to, but always go back to home.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm gonna put I have my list, but I need to like fully write it down.
Yeah, I need to write my list. Do your list. You guys should do your list.
Make a list. I hope you guys feel inspired to write down a list of like what are the core things that are important to you or just your favorites in all categories and make that your baseline. And I do think that it really relieves a lot of the mental weight and especially the decision making off of life.
Yeah. Because listen, we women, we're awesome, but we can't be burnt out.
No.
That's an exhausting life.
Yes.
It's so funny because I asked the lady at church the other day, I was like, hey, what's the best part of your week? And she's like, you know what? I actually rested this week. And I was like, that's awesome. She's like, yeah, my job can be so busy and really intense. She said, but here's the thing. She's like, you know the reason I rested? I said, what? She said, because I scheduled it on my calendar. And I was like, that's a whole nother podcast to talk about rest. But we need rest, obviously, to avoid burnout because burnout implies that we're doing.
Yep.
Whether it's mental, physical, whatever. And I just thought that was so wonderful. Like the best part of her week was actually resting and she was excited about it. And it was because she planned for it. So again, the more we can simplify, the more we can plan for, the better we're going to be.
Yep. I 100% agree. I love that. Well, we hope you feel encouraged after this podcast to rest, release,
replenish, reset your priorities, and honestly, be easy with yourself.
Yes.
Like give yourself some grace and recognize the expectations that you might be putting on you that seem to be said through social media or through other people or how our world is, but you get to decide what should be expected. And so we hope that you will lean into that.
Yeah. Spend some time in prayer and ask God, like, what is it that you're asking me to do?
That's the number one.
Should be my priorities? What things can get, crossed off the list? And, if you're trying to do it all, just know you can't do it all perfectly and all at once. But you can have the balance of holding multiple things at one time and just giving full attention to whatever is needed as the priority. But
you're crushing it, girl.
Yes, you're killing it.
She's got to have both. She can have both.
Yes, you can have both. You can have peace. You can have peace while
and
also
performance.
And you performance. Amen.
Peace and performance.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. That was off the dome. I hope I don't have a dome.
You have a dome. No, I'm kidding.
I know you ain't talking.
I got a dome too.
Cut from the same cloth of 4 and 5 heads. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us and watching. Like, subscribe, comment. We really want to hear you in the comments, and hopefully there's some great takeaways from you, and we'll see you next episode.
The next one. Bye.
Bye.